What's the fucking crack, everybody? Very welcome to episode 19 of the Ramble Pod. Suffering Jesus Christ. We're on the new gear, lads. We're on the fucking new gear. And we're also live on... we are live. Jeez, we're live. Deadly stuff. We're actually live on YouTube right this fucking very minute. And we have a proper microphone, proper setup, the whole shooting fucking gallery. Fair play to you. I'm gone stone mad on the live stuff. I just went live on... Instagram for the first time ever, there for a split second, just to tell people about this. Friended subscribers, I suppose. Fair play. I don't know if anybody's even listening to this or jumping on it. I don't know, does it stay? Oh, there's a couple of people actually after joining in. I don't know, does this one record and stay up at all? I've never done live YouTube before. I know I'm talking to people that are probably listening to this in the morning driving to work going, what's that bollocks on about? Anyway, you're all very welcome. Yeah, I'm drinking fucking tea. It's 11:15 at night. I'm just in the door. Thank you very much, Patreon people. Thank you very, very much. Here we are. This is the future, people. The new gear as a direct result of people paying for it. You are producing the show. You are actual producers of the show. Fucking thank you very, very much. Like I said, it was going to happen. We were going to have it. We were going to end up having the proper gear bought. Move away from the little H2 Zoom. It was fine for as long as it lasted. But Jesus, Mary and Joseph, it had to go. We had to get the good stuff in, especially with some of the guests that we have coming up. And like the guest I recorded with today, I may as well tell you, it was Eddie O'Sullivan. Some of you are going, I don't like rugby. But if you do like rugby and you like just a gas bastard, he's the straightest talk. You'd learn something from this fella. He's the straightest shooter, how he came from fucking playing y'all rugby to becoming a coach for the Lions. Like, this is kind of shit, you know what I mean? Like that. We'll talk about it more just before that one on Friday. But yeah, thank you very much. Here it is. Here's the stuff. Fucking smashing. So how was your week been? How was your weekend? Was it good? Did you have a good time? Did you? Fucking hell. Yeah, I'm recording straight to the webcam here. So anybody who has an issue with it, we're not quite there yet, Patreon people. We're not quite there yet. Like I said, we talked about, I got some advice on the GoPro and stuff like that. And I'm not going filming live with the GoPro because it's grand. It'll do the trick, but it's not really cutting the fucking mustard. You know what I mean? Also today, a few fucking things there now. Jesus Christ. Trying to get all this gear together is just bananas. Like, you know what I mean? I think I fucking left the GoPro even behind me today, but sure, look at the fucking thing is. It was a heartbreaker anyway to start with. Yeah, my last week gone. Fucking hell, was it bananas or what? I was gone on holidays. I was telling you about it. We went to the Czech Republic for 4 days. Czech fucking Republic, I tell you one thing. And we flew into Prague, straight out of Prague. We got the bus. I don't know if I was telling you, I was asking the hotel we were staying in if they had a transfer bus or rent like that for their hotel. And they went, absolutely, we have a transfer. Now, would you like the S-Class Mercedes or would you like the E-Class Mercedes? And the prices they were talking about, like, no, you're fine. I'll just get the bus. You want to see their buses. For the love of Jesus Christ, our buses are heaps of shit in comparison. They had like a hostess and everything on the bus. Each seat had its own like interface and its own iPad essentially. And there was free coffee and 70-cent cans of beer on the bus. Huh? I'd say where would you get it? I could just told you exactly where you're going to get it. You're going to get it in the what do you call it? In the fucking Czech Republic. Jesus Christ. We got to this place anyway, and it was to try and explain this place. It's like Jesus, Mary and Joseph. It's like Brown Thomas designed the whole town, and our hotel was at the end of the town, up against kind of a mountain. The hotel, if anybody follows me on Instagram, the hotel is just fucking, I put up some videos and stuff and some pictures of it. Essentially, the hotel was called the Grand Hotel Poop, but it's spelled Pop, but they call it Poop. I don't see anything wrong with that. It was a hotel that Casino Royale was shot at. Yeah. Where he got the heart attack, or, he got poisoned at the car park. It was the hotel from the Grand Budapest, I think, hotel. Load of shit. And what the fuck other film was it in? I can't remember. It was in some other film. And they were actually filming a German TV series there when we landed at the fucking thing. But yeah, ludicrously posh place, like full of Asians with loads of money. But it wasn't a pure prick of a place like you'd think it would be. But it was strange meeting like people from, I didn't realize like Central European people, like, and just the way they're rude enough old bastards. Or at least they come off that way. And I don't know how rich you have to be for them. Like, I think the snoozer of a place you get, the ruder they were around that part of the town. Like certain posh places we went, you were going, all right. So this is how fucking, this is it. This is how rude you're going to be. Fair enough. Fair enough. We're getting messages and everything. Fucking hell. Hi. How's it going, Christopher? And Tammy Rice. Hey, Tom. From Christmas, Florida. Is that actually a place? This now is people listen in their cars in the morning and go, what in the name of fuck's he on about? Christmas, Florida. Why, Jesus Christ. Or just Florida's that far ahead. They're already at the end of December. And Shane, what's the crack? Oh, right. Thanks, Tammy. Sure is. What a fucking name for a place. What a name for a place. Hello, I'm from Halloween in Arkansas. I like it. I like it that no shits were given there. We like Christmas. We're going to name the place Christmas, even though it has never snowed in Florida. I like that. Yeah. So cutting back to the Czech people, and like I say, Czech people, but the town was owned by Russians and infiltrated by rich Germans and Asians. But I just noticed like this. I remember myself and Colin Geddes talking about this, like about how in Asia they have no time for queuing. They have no time for queuing. When you get an overpopulated place, they just go straight in front of you. And if you're going to be an namby-pamby Irish person who likes to queue and politely go, oh, no, you go ahead. Or, yeah, sure, we'll just queue here. You're wasting your fucking time. You queue for anything in a place like this. And they just walk straight in front of you. And it's not seen as rude. It's not seen as a faux pas in any way. It's just, yeah, fuck yeah. That's what we're doing. So that's, and the whole place is built, I think it was Roman. There's a lot of Roman buildings there. Like the place is gorgeous. It's ridiculously gorgeous. But there's these springs everywhere that you're supposed to be drinking. And you can buy these little porcelain cups. I have one of them somewhere. They're tiny little porcelain cups. And you drink this water. It's essentially like Diorolite. So a powerful stuff for a hangover. And I can guarantee you it does work. The stuff is just ludicrous. It's all these little springs are all over the town. And just people are queuing up. I say queuing up. Just storming in front of each other. To just get their drink of their salty water, essentially. And it was good. I liked it. But a strange place. Like the food situation now was good. I'm going to take another slurp of tea. Excuse me. Oh, there's herself popping in. Come on in, love. Don't worry, you won't be seeing.
Did you make me tea?
I did. I made you tea. You're live on YouTube here with people from Florida and everything listening in.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, the dog has come to fucking visit. Oh, why doesn't everybody call the neighbours in, pet? Call the neighbours in. Yeah. This is how professional my podcast is. The dog strolls in, the wife strolls in. Sure, what harm? What harm? I was telling him about the Grand Hotel poop and the slightly rude people from the Czech Republic.
Oh my God.
But that day, yeah. I don't think they were rude. I think that's just their way. Do you know, I think they're just we just don't have enough people here to have begun rude yet. You know, that kind of way. I think we have enough space to queue. But yeah, the food situation was fucking ridiculous. Venison and wild boar all night. It was fucking ridiculous. As far as beer goes, on average you're talking about 150 a beer. And that was even in the posh joints. We went over to the other side of the town then. They actually wanted your custom. You just kind of felt that people didn't want your custom. Are you taking the dog out? Yeah, the dog will definitely want to be part of this. No worries. There you are. So Tammy's after coming back for anybody who's wondering about Christmas, Florida. It goes back to the 1800s. Fantastic. I've got cousins who live in a place called Niceville, Florida. Another broad thinking name of place. What do we think of this place? That's nice. Good enough. There we go. Although to be fair, I'm guessing most towns were put together that way. What's that? A river? River town it is. So, do you know, I can't get snotty about it because in Ireland our towns just happen to have really old names. But I guarantee you they were invented the exact same way. Is that a rabbit over there? Rabbit Town it is. It's called Rabbit Town now. And we have towns like, because they're grand now, because they've been translated and bastardized so much, they just sound like funny words. But actually, if you broke them down, they mean things like the whole of the pig. Swear to God. Cousins, also other cousins who live in Cork in a place called Paul na Mucka, which means whole of the pig. Anyway, getting back to point. We wandered in. We like the place it is a smashing spot. Karlovy Vary. It's 2 words. If you're looking for this town, Google it. Google it. It's ridiculously pretty looking, and it's enjoyable to see like how a place can actually be run. Didn't see a cop anywhere, yet there was fucking no trouble. Do you know what I mean? You felt, all right, there's absolutely nothing going down here in the way of danger. A lot of wrinkly elderly folks. We were the youngest in the entire city by about 30 years, I would imagine. A lot of millionaires. A lot of fucking wrinkly old millionaires. But there wasn't a fucking cigarette butt. There wasn't fucking chewing gum. And I didn't even see many bins. The place was, people kept their shit on them. Nobody dropped stuff. Nobody fucking messed anything. It was unbelievable. But we went up this mountain. Don't worry, we didn't climb. There was like a cable car. We just sat our fat arses into it and just cable carred up the mountain. But we ended up in, it was the most German part of the whole place. You were like, oh, I see we're quite close to the German border here, but it looks of things. It was just this nice little Schnitzelhausen bra up the top of this mountain. And the grub up there again, top notch. But I knew things were going to be fun because there was peacocks wandering around. Do you know that kind of way? You just get a sense that things this is going to be a bit of fucking crack because there's actually peacocks. We ended up in a butterfly farm. I won't lie. If I said I was entirely sober all the time I was there, I'd be lying. So the butterfly farm became far more fun than it probably really is. I'm running around like pretty much Homer Simpson around this giant big warm room, making a total arse of myself trying to catch butterflies, which apparently I didn't hear, but apparently you're not supposed to touch any of the butterflies. It wasn't something that was needed to be said anyway, because to be honest with you, my drunk arse couldn't have fucking caught a cold, let alone a flying object. So another bit of fucking crack. There was bunches of small little things like that were just people were doing ridiculous fucking things. But one of the nights, I think we were on Instagram and the hotel, like it's like trying to wrap your head around the weird shit and how money is thrown around in these places is just astronomical. Like they put on in the hotel on the last night we were there, it was an award ceremony for Russian and Czech TV and movies. And the setup, you would think like fucking Leonardo DiCaprio was going to be at it. Like the security, there must have been 60 or 70 fucking big beasts standing around the place. The cars that were pulling up, Lamborghinis, you name it, like, and of course wouldn't let me film any of it. And I'm being a cheeky fucker looking up there. I'm going, well, I'm staying here, so I have the right to fucking have a gander. And I noticed like they did a huge setup for the amount of like drink that was going to be consumed. And I'm thinking, are they like, it's kind of, you know, are they going to go that hard at it? Like, and it hadn't kicked off until about 8:30. So we went away, had a bite to eat, headed down, went for a couple of drinks in the bar, which, by the way, the whole place is just decorated with ridiculously rich people that have stayed there. That I recognize some of their names, but like most of them you do recognize, like the likes of Morgan Freeman. They have a huge picture of Morgan Freeman in the bar, and the bar looks like something out of a spy. Like it's 50-foot ceiling, fucking ridiculous mirrors everywhere. It has spy written all over it. This is KGB shit written all over. Which, by the way, Jesus Christ, I can't forget this. So we're walking through the town, and you see this kind of it's again a gorgeous town, but you see this one big building, and we're like, I need to pop in there for the old jacks, see what's going on. We walked in, and the whole town is I think that where they're making their money is off the fact that it's like spas, and they're probably semi-legal, semi-illegal shit that they can do to you in this place that you'd never get done anywhere else. You know what I mean? Like fucking eyebrow implants and stuff like that should be, cancerous and probably kill you. You could probably get it done there. But we went into this building that looked lovely from the outside because they painted it up nice. But when you got indoors, they hadn't changed any of the decor easily since the 70s. So it had that grey marble, that real communist looking fucking marble that you see like in North Korea stuff. And like we went up these stairs just to use the public bathroom or whatever that was in it. But it was this intensive fucking spa where like these big, strong, wide-backed women were walking in and out in nurses' uniforms into, like there must be like 50 doors all down in one direction, like in 4 different directions. And there's like those square kind of clocks that hang out of the ceiling. You know them ones you'd see at old train stations, like old communist place. They were on every fucking corridor was exactly the same. And I being nosy, because herself popped into the jacks, I went nosing down along, and one of the doors is open, right? And this is some American Horror Story shit. I look in, and it's this bright red room, like the room, there's a red light and the walls are painted red. And it's a bloke, maybe not a bloke, it could have just been a frighteningly ugly woman. Hence why she was in this fucking intensive spa. She was in what looked like a bath, but the bath had like a rubber cover all the way up to her neck, like across the top. So it was just her head sticking out of this, like this rubber. If you pulled a giant balloon over a bath and covered it, and then put an elastic band around it and just poke somebody's head up through it, that's essentially what you're looking at. And that was just one of the rooms. And she just had this look of, get me out of here. Get me, like hostile shit. Like, Jesus, Mary and Joseph, what have we walked into? I won't lie, I wanted to look into every room after that, but they were locking. Like, she came out, a nursey one came out the door, big, strong, like she'd like a monobrow and stuff. She came out the door and she just had a back like you could fucking play racquetball off her back. She was massive. And she just shot me this filthy fucking look and just locked the door with a big set of keys. Locked the woman in to this room with the bath. And meanwhile, like, there's people, you know, playing hacky sack outside in the lawn outside, and they had no idea that this, like, I'm guessing this shit, like, it's just gone. It's the kind of shit where you go, if you know, you know. You know what I mean? If you know the crowd and you know what you need to get done, just say, listen, I need to shave 20 years off what I look like right now. Can you get it done? Because we talked with this one old Mexican dude who was a millionaire. He was kind of blowholding about what he bought in New York and what he bought in London and stuff in the way of property. But he was saying the reason why they came over there was because of his fat sister-in-law. He goes, my wife, she is not fat, but my sister-in-law, very fat. So she's come here for treatments. I'm like, what treatments could, and he, like, they were there for 2 weeks. What treatments to reduce your fatness could happen in 2 weeks? You know what I mean? If it was acne, if it was hair transplants, if it was something, you wouldn't know. But what can you do to yourself? What can you have done to yourself that will reduce your fatness in 2 weeks? Some communist level KGB shit. I guarantee you that's what it is. They're just cutting the stuff out of you. Or maybe they're transplanting heads or something onto, like, skinny bodies. I digress, as the person says. Oh, Tammy came back. She grew up in a town called Taintsville. Well, by Jesus Christ, Tammy. I dare anybody to try and beat that. Podcast listeners, this will be going out to you tomorrow morning. Tammy grew up in a town called Taintsville. Well, now, by Jesus Christ, Tammy. Yeah. To anybody who's wondering, what's wrong with Taintsville, Tom? Was it slightly tainted? No. The taint, which most people will know. Actually, the listeners to my podcast will know exactly. I'm not explaining what the taint is. Listeners to my podcast know exactly what fucking taints are. For the love of Jesus Christ. Anybody who's actually first time on YouTube, the name of this podcast, because I'm just putting this up through my comedy channel, but the name of my podcast is called Buckshot. You'll find, Jesus Christ, I'd say we're actually over, we must be close to the 100. Between the Ramble Pod and Buckshot, and the bonus ones and all the rest, we must be up over 100, or close to 100, are we? Does anybody want to check it out on their Apple Podcast, see how many are on? Taint, or Ovlido Taint? Oh, Jesus, now, Tammy, you're getting into fucking Spanish or something there. I don't know what that is. You're talking to an Irish fellow who hasn't a fucking word of Spanish. So then, getting back to the night where the awards ceremony were on, I noticed there's this crowd. See, do you know what? This is the fucking Paddy in me. Like, I noticed that this crowd were setting up this huge, big, giant faux barrel. It was essentially, you know, a promotional looking thing to make it look like, oh, we're there selling you a drink from a giant barrel, but essentially it was just a regular beer tap in front of it set up. I'm like, I reckon that's free beer. And I reckon if I play my cards right, I could get free beer out of that fella. We went for dinner downstairs, absolutely smashing, terrible band down there, but we went for it anyway. We had a good time. And then herself was feeling a bit tired, so she went away to bed. I says, well, it would be remiss of me not to go down and see about the free beer. She was, in fairness to her, she's a good wife, and she knows me, and she knows I can't pass up a free beer. She went, you know what, Tom? I wouldn't have it any other way. I want you to go down there and see, can you get yourself a free beer? And I did. I went down. First, I blagged my way into the party. Big, massive fucker, like this big bastard, big Russian fucker was standing on the door. At this stage, a load of people had cleared off. There was only about fucking 50 people left. And what was hilarious is I walked in. I'm like, this is the worst party ever. Everybody was sitting down, and this setup, apparently it cost over £1 million. I don't know in what, but I'm guessing this place charges a fair bit to put on a party. But as well as that, the security that they had there had to be into the hundreds of thousands. Like, it wasn't just these lads. It was lads with guns up the street and everything. I didn't fucking see anybody that was worth shooting. And in this town, there's no getting in to this town from the back end. You can only come in one way. So, how the fuck? So lo and behold, I went in. I came back out. I said, lad, I'm here for the free beer. Your man just started smiling at me. He goes, are you actually part of the party? I said, I fucking am now. He says, good enough for me. He was actually a nice enough fella, chirpy enough kind of a bloke. Hands me out a big jug of fucking free beer. It was tasty enough. Beer is always tasty too when it's free, isn't it? In I go back into the party. I'm like, this is the biggest load of shite. It was like the worst shite and wedding you've ever been at. We're talking like 1 a.m. People were just sitting there staring at the dance floor and staring at the DJ. And he was breaking his fucking arse trying to turn out some good music for these people. He tried everything, every genre. So I'm like, this can't happen. Fuck this. So out onto the floor I go with my glass of beer. I say glass, it was a pint and a half of this stuff. And I just start dancing like a bollocks and just start waving people up onto the floor. Well, by Jesus Christ, up they jumped. It was like, of course, silly Irishman, of course. We needed the likes of you to come in here and show us how to dance. I can't dance. But these people did not have the crack in them. They just didn't have the crack in them. Up they got. Before I knew it, I was back out for more free beer. And then all of a sudden, free beers were just being brought to me by the other Russians and whatnot and Czech people. And if anybody watched any of my Instagram story from Saturday night, which Gordo from Those Conspiracy Guys filled me in on the following day, which I'd totally forgotten. I was pretty fucking drunk. I was pretty fucking drunk the whole way through it. I don't think I made a holy show of myself. I had to look back and it was like, oh no, but you could see the progression between over the stories. Like there was about 7 or 8 stories and you could see the progression. Interesting to watch yourself back, actually. You know what? Maybe don't do it, but do it. You know what I mean? As a kind of a social look at yourself. It's horrendous to watch yourself just getting drunker and drunker, but kind of you can see why people see the funny side. And thankfully, I didn't do anything. I didn't get into a fight. I went home, back up to the room at a reasonable time. Didn't make an actual holy show of myself. So, proud of myself in that fact. I'm sure there'll be more that'll pop into my head. It is now 20 to 12 at night. So we'll talk more maybe on next week's Ramble Pod. Like I said, I was in yesterday then. Being Sunday, I was in doing an episode of Those Conspiracy Guys, which I probably won't come out till next March. But yeah, have a gander at their new one. They have a new one up called with Ted Bundy and the 2 girls from the Up to 90 podcast. Also soon to have on Julie J, which is one half of the Up to 90 Girls podcast. And they're going on tour soon enough, so I might actually get the 2 of them on. But the other one is Emma Doran, who is a past guest and good friend of the podcast. They've got a tour. They're touring their show. Also, I will be having a live show, just to confirm. There will be a live show going on. Hopefully, I won't say the guest yet because, yourself, it could go any which way. But it will be during probably the Friday of the Vodafone Comedy Carnival in Galway, which is, I don't know which day. It's the Friday. I don't know what date it is. It's the last Friday of the month. Once we get that locked in, because right now I'm trying to organise the Comedians Barbecue, which is going on, and I will be gigging all that week. As far as dates go on that thing, I'll let you know. Times and dates and everything. I'll be letting you know. Just keep listening to the podcast and all the rest of it. What else have I just... do you know what? I'll talk about it next week. It was getting caught in a fucking sauna with a lot of fucking... Jesus Christ. I'll talk to it on next week's Ramble Pod. It'll be next Monday or Tuesday. I'll do next week's Ramble Pod. And I'll talk about getting caught in a sauna with a bunch of naked Russians. Not my proudest moment. Not my happiest moment, I can tell you that much. But it happened. It definitely fucking happened. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. So just quickly, let's have a gander here what the people are saying. Shane doesn't seem happy about it. Commenting on YouTube is a strange thing. It's a strange thing. I don't think I've ever done it all. Everybody's just joined in like this, some sort of Right. I didn't realize this. I didn't even know I had any subscribers. But I think I've only found out this evening there's like close to 1,000 subscribers. Oh yeah, there goes the battery on the fucking watch. You think I'd plug it in? I'm wrapping up soon enough now anyway. Hold your horses. Sure, I can just plug it in. Yeah, the wire is there. Give me 1 second, please. How very unprofessional of me. Unbelievably unprofessional. But this is the beauty of podcasting and podcast listeners. They want the real thing. They want to be involved. And by Jesus, you're involved. What was it? What have we got here now? Shane. Well, I'm from Scottstown and not a Scot to be seen in Monaghan. Oh, yeah, sure, I know Shane. You chicken farmer Shane. With the pints, always sending me pictures of creamy pints. You fucking bastard. But nothing to go bragging about. Oh, well, I've been to Scottstown. It's not that bad of a place. And Bella 1313. Sure, look it. It was a good year, apparently, for cholera. Yeah, she seems happy enough, or he seems happy enough, or whoever the fuck they are. Yeah, there's Shane with his creamy pints. Anyway, getting back to the podcast, I'm going to wrap it up. Here's another live thing. If you are following me on Instagram, tomorrow, Jerry McBride of not those conspiracy guys, Jerry McBride of the Waterford Whispers and past partner of myself in the Tom and Jerry show, Monaghan's finest, there, Shane. He will be on tomorrow. He'll be on, and we will be filming some of it live through the Laughter Lounge page and my own Facebook page. But also it'll be recorded and it'll go out on Wednesday. So we're going to have live coming from the stage of the Laughter Lounge. So that's very easy to find. If you don't follow the Laughter Lounge, follow the Laughter Lounge on every platform. Follow their Instagram. Their Instagram is on point because Holly is running it at the minute. Also, it'll be on mine. So it'll be around, I'm hoping to kick off around 11. I don't know. Most of you are probably going to be in work. If people from another country are listening, try and time it for 11 o'clock our time. Keep an eye on it, and you'll get a notification if you follow me. Follow me on Instagram at Tom O'Mahony Comedy. For people, this is going out on podcast people. This is going out. You'll hear it in your ear holes by 7 o'clock tomorrow. And you know what? I'm going to put it straight up tonight. So you'll actually have it if you're listening to this after 11, 12 o'clock on Tuesday, the 11th. Tough shit. You still have this to listen to. And also, like that, we'll put it out on as many platforms. It's just a tester because we have cameras being bought in and stuff that'll actually film live and send it out on a bunch of different platforms. But like that, I'll be filming and recording a lot more from now on in the actual Laughter Lounge with the new gear and all the rest of it. Also, if you do want to follow me on any other platforms, it'll be Tom O'Mahony Comedy. Will find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And if you're on the chatty snaps, which some people are, and I don't really do much on it anymore, but if you want to send me messages and stuff on it, feel free. I'm on it at Tom Bear O'Mahony, all one word. If you want to send me any long form chats, go ahead and send it to bookshoppodcast@gmail.com or just go straight to my website, which is tomomahonycomedy.com. Also, have a look in there for gigs because there's a couple more to go in there, but you'll see over the next 3 or 4 weeks, if you're somewhere in Ireland, I'm going to be fairly close to you. I'll hopefully have a live podcast for people to actually come to where people can visit and jump in. If you're in or around the Galway area that last weekend, probably that Friday, like I said. And like that, to all the people at Patreon, you can see the gear if you're watching on YouTube. You'll hear the gear tomorrow morning in your ear holes. It's the shit. Much cleaner, much tastier, much more professional. Anyway, good on you. People have subbed a while back. That's the fucking job. You're 5 or 6 hours ahead of me. Right, Jesus Christ. So you listen in the morning, Bella. Sometime mid-afternoon, I suppose. Love me Irish. We love ourselves, Bella. On that note, this has been the fucking weirdest podcast we've done so far, haven't we, people? But don't worry. In total, there'll actually be 3 podcasts out this week. There's going to be 2 episodes of Buckshot with guests. And there's this one you're listening to now. Right. Go handy. And I'll catch you tomorrow.